The XGB PLC includes several options for high-speed motion. While XG5000 is the programming software for the XGB PLC, motion is primarily programmed and monitored through XGPM. This motion tool is installed with the XG5000 programming suite, so there is no need for a separate installation. While we can start XGPM directly from the Windows Start menu, we will often be interfacing with the XG5000 software as well. To make things easier for us, we can launch XGPM directly from the XG5000 interface. We can access it by going to Tools, Position Control. Once XGPM launches, we will see this initial screen appear. The first step for any motion application is to create a new project. We go to Project, New Project, or we can click the icon of a sheet of paper in the upper left corner of the screen. This opens the New Project pop-up window. We will name our project Motion Example. If we wanted to change our project save location, we could click the Find button to open a Windows browser and select an alternate location. For our example, we will stick to the default location. We are using the XEM DN32HP CPU, so we will select the XGB series radio button, and from the CPU type dropdown, select XEM-DXXXHP. We can give our project a description for future programmers to reference, and we can name our module. We will call our module Pulse Train Module. This CPU has the option to use the onboard Open Collector Pulse Train outputs or an EtherCAT network motion application. We will be using the onboard Pulse Train, so we will ensure the APM type is set to Open Collector. For our module type, we only have the option to use XBF-P006E. This is because we are using the onboard Open Collector outputs with the HP CPU type. If we look in XG5000 and go to the I/O parameter screen, we can see that slot 1 lists the XBF P006E as well. This confirms that we have selected the correct PLC series, CPU type, and APM type. Position data steps are individual positions in a motion program. While position data steps are not the only way to initiate motion for the XEM CPU, they are the primary way to do any type of advanced motion functions. We will need one position step for each position we wish to use, and this setting will be applied to all axes in the motion controller. We will leave this at the default of 40. We can always add or subtract from this number later if needed. We click OK, and the software will create our initial motion project. Once we have created the project, the first step will be to connect to the motion controller. For the physical connection, we could use a USB or Ethernet cable connected to the XEM CPU. We will use USB. To set up our USB connection, we can go to Online Connection Setting, or click on the icon of a hand and clipboard in the upper left corner of the screen. This will open the Connection Settings pop-up window. This connection setting window is identical when connecting to the XEM CPU using XG5000. The XEM CPU Getting Connected help topics cover connecting via USB or Ethernet more in depth. Please refer to them for further details. We will select USB from the type dropdown and select OK. To connect to the motion controller, we can then go to Online Connect or click the icon of a computer and PLC in the upper left corner. We can see the connection status in the lower right corner go to Online, so we know we have successfully connected. It is important to note that we are able to use the same USB cable and connection to be online with both the CPU for programming in XG5000 as well as the motion controller in XGPM. When using XG5000 and XGPM at the same time, we need to connect the XG5000 software first. If we connect to XGPM first and then connect with USB from the XG5000, we will see this error message appear. At this point, the software has now disabled these online functions. To fix this issue, we can click OK, disconnect from the XEM CPU in XG5000, disconnect from the XGPM software, and then reconnect in XG5000 and finally reconnect in the XGPM software. We are now ready for motion configuration. Another option would be to configure the connection and then read the motion project already on the CPU. This is a very convenient way to get a correctly configured project, as even after a clear all PLC reset has been executed, there is a properly configured default motion project in the controller.